Maybe Grant Williams will think before he pokes Jimmy Butler next time. Maybe he'll choose his words wisely and be a little bit more careful. And maybe next time he will use sound judgment. It doesn't take much to fire up Jimmy Butler. It really doesn't take much to get Jimmy Butler going. And now you see the Miami Heat in full control of this series. The Miami Heat lead this series 2-0. Boston Boston's backs are against the wall. The Celtics need to now go on the road as this series now shifts to Miami. And they need to go on the road hoping that they come away with 2 wins to tie this series, to make things interesting again. The Boston Celtics are in trouble, but I'm not ready to count them out because this has been their theme all year, right? They have been an up and down team. A team that is hard to predict. I mean, it's like trying to solve a perplexing riddle, right? It's like trying to solve a puzzle. And that's been the story of the Boston Celtics all year. It's frustrating if you're a Celtics fan because you don't know what you're going to get from this team. 1 minute, this team looks like a title contender. The next minute, it looks like a team that can be eliminated from the postseason. And there have been times that the Boston Celtics have looked vulnerable. But you have to look at what the Miami Heat have done. The Miami Heat have been on this magical playoff run. They figure out how to win games. They obviously have found a winning formula. They are exceptionally well coached. Eric Spoelstra, a guy who went from the film room to the sideline to becoming a head coach. You know, and this guy has a great understanding for the X's and O's. He is a tremendous coach, and he has built a winning culture in Miami, along with Pat Riley. Pat Riley, like I always say, has an eye for talent. He knows how to evaluate these players. And Jimmy Butler is just that dude. Like I always say, Jimmy Butler always shows up when these games truly matter. Jimmy Butler likes playing under pressure. He's not a player who disappears under pressure. Actually, he performs at a consistent level. And Jimmy Butler, to me, is a dog. He's a dog. He's a vicious dog, is what he is. And I talked a little bit about this the other day. When the playoffs come and when the lights get bright, Jimmy Butler steps into the spotlight and makes something happen. He makes the best of the playoff moment. And like I said, he will go down as one of the greatest in playoff history. He will clearly go down as one of the greatest. I like Jimmy Butler. I respect the hell out of his game. Some people might say he's a bit cocky, a bit arrogant. I think he's just confident in himself. He just believes in himself. And again, I will say this about the Miami Heat. They don't care if they are the underdogs. In fact, they embrace that role. They're okay with being the underdogs. They're okay with the entire world rooting against them. Outside of Miami, no one has really placed a bet or a wager on this Miami Heat team because they clearly have doubted this team and they don't have belief in this team. But I tell you who does have belief in this team, Jimmy Butler. And he has breathed life into his team. This team is oozing with confidence. This team really feels that they could knock out the Boston Celtics. Now, don't count out the Boston Celtics yet, because when the Boston Celtics backs are against the wall, and I know it's weird. It is strange. It's very weird. But the Boston Celtics actually play better when they dig themselves a hole. You think they're out of the series and they come right back and win 2 straight games in a row. That's just how the Celtics are. So it would be asinine and a bit silly to say this Celtics team is done. Because in reality, they're not done. They have Jason Tatum, who can give you points. Jason Tatum can erupt for 40-plus points. We've seen it. Jaylen Brown can be the sidekick and have a big night. They got guys that can score. They got guys that can put the ball in the basket. So don't say the Celtics are done just yet. Because if there's one team that can tie this series up, being down 0-2, it's the Celtics. And what else is weird is that the Celtics are better on the road. They're fantastic on the road. They win on the road, which is crazy. And then they lose at home in front of their home crowd. Which is very puzzling to me. You would think that the home crowd would fuel them. You know, give them that energy, that extra boost. But it's times that the Celtics get complacent. They don't play with a sense of urgency. They play down to their competition. And we've seen that with the Celtics all playoffs, right? We've seen that with the Celtics. And, I mean, that's just how it's been for them. But Grant Williams' trash talk was motivation for Jimmy Butler. And you don't want to give Jimmy Butler too much ammunition. Because if you give him enough ammunition, he is going to fire back. He's going to respond. He's going to let his game do the talking. And that's what we saw from Jimmy Butler. Playoff Jimmy, once again, coming through. Drained jumper after jumper. Butler said something to Williams, and Williams reacted quickly, going forehead to forehead, nose to nose with the Heat's best player. And from then on there, it was on. It was on. He's a competitor. Those two guys were going to battle. And Jimmy Butler, man, he erupted. After that minor confrontation, Butler put on a shooting clinic. What ensued was Butler converting the free throw, Butler banging a short jumper on the next possession, and signaling to Williams that he is basically too small, basically taunting him, right? And then a few minutes later, Butler scores on back-to-back trips to tie the game at 100 and put Miami ahead after having trailed by as many as 12 early in the period. Williams probably regrets what he done now, because that just flipped the script for the Miami Heat. After that, the Miami Heat took off. Williams finished the game with 9 points, scored twice more after the poking, but it wasn't nearly as spectacular as Butler, who finished with 27 points on the Heat, who finished with 27 points on the night. He shot, I believe he shot 12 of 25 in this game with 8 rebounds and 6 assists and 3 steals. But Butler is a guy that you don't want to motivate. You don't want to trash talk Butler because Butler responds every time. Butler always has a comeback for you. And he does it respectively on the basketball court. He can almost just about get any shot he wants. He can just about get any shot he wants. And once again, he was Jimmy Buckets. He was Jimmy Buckets. There is no stopping Jimmy when he is on fire. There's just no stopping Jimmy. And Williams should have known better. He should have known better than to poke the bear. Should have known better. Gotta be careful what you say to Jimmy Butler because he will punish you. He will make you pay. And watching that game yesterday, he made the Celtics pay. And now the Celtics find themselves down 0-2 in the series, needing a win in Game 3 to keep their playoff hopes alive. Because Jimmy Butler in this series and throughout the playoffs has kicked everyone's ass with his level of production, his toughness, and his shot-making abilities. He can take over games. He has channeled the inner Kobe Bryant. And I know there are parallels to be exact, but there are also similarities, right? There are similarities. He is tough like Kobe. He has that competitive nature like a Kobe Bryant. He has that fierce. He's a fierce competitor, right? That's why he draws the comparison of Kobe Bryant. And he has displayed that in this series, and we have seen it from Jimmy Buckets. Incredible stuff. Epic theater. The Celtics have to find a way to rebound and get back in this series. And it's not going to be easy against the Miami Heat. But the positive thing is they are now going on the road, and we all know how well the Celtics have done on the road. Let me get out of here because I'm missing a Laker game. I want to check this game out. I want to see if my Lakers come out with the victory tonight. We'll talk very soon. You guys take care. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. If you guys have, I thank you guys for supporting the channel. Thank you guys for the love and support. I really appreciate it. Talk to you guys very soon. Peace, everyone.